Welcome back, everyone. I'm Dr. Darryl Wolf, and this is Shalou. And we're in Barrie, Ontario, and this is Shalou's clinic. And you can see we have a Celsonic sitting behind us, and we came on here today to talk about advanced water fasting. I'm going to explain about it first, and then I want everybody to know that you can ask questions if you want on Facebook and on Instagram, but TikTok, well, you know what? I don't know. I'll tell you what. I will try again on TikTok. The problem is with TikTok is there's people on there that are pretty nasty sometimes, and then guess what? They disturb all the other people that want to just sit back and learn and listen. So I'm still blocking TikTok, but we'll try it the next time we do it, and then we'll try it out. And then we'll let you know how people are. But the reality is we don't need people that are just bantering. They should find somewhere else to go. Now, so we're here, and we're here to answer all your questions, whether it's emotional, nutritional, physical, and we just started the 6-day advanced water fasting. Our calculations is that we think approximately around 10,000 people doing the advanced water fast.
Wow.
So the reality is that people are getting it. Now, I want you to understand something about fasting. Fasting's important. You've been taught to disrespect yourself. You've been taught that you are an eating machine. Yes or no?
Absolutely.
You were an eating machine.
I was. I was going to actually have T-shirts printed that said, "I live to eat."
Yeah, and guess what? When you live to eat, you will die early. And understand, but you will. There is one good thing about that, and what is this? You'll be part of the majority. Okay, toxic, overweight. Okay, and looking at the rest of us and going, "Oh my God, does Darryl have cancer?" Right? And the reality is that's what people think. As soon as somebody loses weight, gets into shape, that's what they think. Because guess what? What if 80% of the population or more, okay, was actually fat? Now, when I say fat, I'm not calling you names, because if your body was not able to produce fat, what would happen?
You'd be very toxic, because that's where it stores all the toxins.
Oh, you'd be dead.
Yep.
Okay, because your body actually creates the fat that you need to stay alive until you wake up, until you lighten the load on an emotional and physical level. That's why you lose weight, you gain weight. You lose weight, you gain weight, because you are an emotional being and you don't even know it. Okay, and the reality is once you change your personality, okay, once you focus on different things, do you know the people that have diseases, the people that have poverty, the people that are depressed, they focus on those things. That's why they have them. And guess what? They're not going to like that. Okay, if cancer is created by CCC, why do young children of 0-7 develop leukemia? Okay, are you ready for this? Oh, the parents don't affect the child. They infect the child. Guess what? They affect the child and infect the child. Are you ready for this? Do you really want to hear the answer? Then don't be upset with me, but understand something. No adult should be allowed to have children until they go through a course like our pain-free pregnancy. Because until you love, honor, and respect yourself, how can you do that for another human being? And understand something, 49% of the women today are dripping urine in their panties throughout the day. Do you know why? Now, you asked the question, I'm going to give you the answer, so don't get upset with me. That's because the valve in the bladder is calcified due to infection and inflammation, because that woman was pooping in her pelvis. And understand something, all right? 95% of all disease is caused because of a dysfunctional large intestine, and you think you don't have one. Am I right? Okay, and understand this. Does anybody know why the baby has its feet on both sides of the vaginal canal and it's time to come out, and they're trying to get the baby to flip the other way so they'll come out head first? because it doesn't want to come out because the parents were terrorists. You know, I don't know what you really think. And no, I don't think really a lot of people think, because the reality is that we have invited a spirit being to come down to this planet, be infused into the womb. And do you think that it's low vibrational, has no intelligence at all? Do you think that when the mother is terrified and fearful about her life and the child, that the child is just so willing to want to take a head dive and come out easy? No, it's going to put its feet on either side of the vaginal canal and go, I'm not coming out. Or why do you think it wraps the cord around its neck? Oh, that was an accident because it was just rolling over because it wanted a new position on how to sleep? No, because it was trying to hang itself. I'm not trying to lay any guilt on parents here. But if you don't think that we are programmed from the moment we get here, okay, to create illness, sickness, and suffering in ourselves and everyone else, then you've got another thing coming. Let me tell you something. Nobody wants to talk about this. Oh no, don't touch that. Let me tell you this. When you get out of school, we'll get to the leukemia thing in a second, I promise, okay? But when you get out of school, okay, out of grade 12, because guess what? You don't know how to love yourself. You don't know how to feed yourself. You don't know how to care for yourself. Let's do it for another adult that doesn't know how to do it. Okay, so that's why, okay, the whole marriage thing is screwed up. You got two people coming together, don't know how to love themselves, and they feed off each other. And after a year or two, the honeymoon phase is over. And they're going, you changed. No, we didn't. I just can't keep on trying to keep on pumping you up and filling your heart up like it's some kind of gas tank. Okay? You got to be tank full. You got to be thankful for yourself. And that's why these marriages things don't work. That's why most marriages, 50% of marriages break up. And then I'd say about the other, the other probably 80% of what's left over and still hanging around together don't even like themselves or each other. And you can lie all you want, okay? I don't really care. You're trying to get comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. That little baby actually has leukemia, okay? And that is a blood disorder, okay? And that's because of all the terrifying situations the mother went through, because the father didn't support the mother properly and make the mother feel safe within the world. And the mother was dumping adrenaline, histamine, and cortisol on a continual basis. And tell me that a fearful mother knows how to eat right, think right, live right. And you need to understand that. You know, we got to talk about high vibrational food, high vibrational humans around us. Let me tell you something. If you're going to have a baby and create a baby, you're creating a baby. It takes two people to create a healthy baby. It takes one person to create a tumor. So you can create a healing or you can create a disease in your body. And understand, I'm not blaming anyone, because we're programmed to have toxic babies. We're programmed to have all these problems. Did anybody not notice that there's this evil force on this planet that is in control of all the education and control of the finances? And then we have a government, but inside the government, we have an internal government that is running the government, that is running us into the ground. And then we have what we call a healthcare system that is based on petroleum, because that's what all medication is. Please, don't ask me why a baby or a child has cancer. Cancer is created by, the C stands for conflict. There's no conflict with the mother, right? And there's no conflict with the father. It's just one big joyous ride. I love me. I love you. I love our baby. I'm not fearful. I have faith. Okay? I'm not yelling at you. I'm not causing any stress for you. Oh, we're not bringing any contaminated foods into the home. We're not doing any medication, drugs. We're not doing any pot. We're not drinking any wine, any alcohol. We are not causing dehydration in here. We're drinking the right amount of water, structured water. Oh, we're having 3 good bowel movements a day while we're pregnant. No, almost every woman is constipated. And guess what? So here's where the baby is in the womb. Yes or no? And in the womb, it becomes a tomb, because the large intestine, which is the compost, and which makes the good bacteria, if it was healthy, the baby would be living in the most powerful immune system in the world, And guess what? If the large intestine is not healthy and wealthy with rich, good bacteria, then it's got toxic bacteria, fungus, and parasites. So now the baby's in the middle of a swamp, and that would be, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? 95% of all women are so toxic, and that's why they have complications now. And understand this. When's the last time you heard of women having so many complications in their pelvis? Ovarian cysts, endometriosis, okay? Bladder infections on a continual basis, okay? Cancer, infertility, okay? Even stiff hips, low back pain. That's all from a dysfunctional large intestine. And understand, I can go into almost any pregnant mother's home and she's eating what we would call a healthy diet that the majority of the population would say, which would be cheese, Greek yogurt, okay, milk, okay. How many dead animals does it take to bring life to someone? Okay, and how many times does she take a look or the husband look? Because the husband should be the protector. Okay, all right, should be the protector. Should be looking at every package. Because even when you think you're buying organic, it gets bought up by who? The tobacco industry that owns the food industry, and then they start sneaking poisons in there. And they do that all the time. You can't trust any organic foods. The one you love that you've been taking for 2 years, you need to test it every time and look and see who now bought the company out. Because anything that becomes popular will become poisoned. Get it? Anything popular will become poisoned. And understand something. My father had leukemia. And I can tell you right now that my father did not love his life. He was a born-again pastor carpenter. And guess what? He did not love his life. He did not know how to love us. And understand, love is the answer. And I'm going to tell you something. There is no cancers. There's just inflammation. And depending on the dysfunctional, emotional equivalent of your belief systems, because here's the deal. I got this belief, I got this belief, I got this belief, and I got this belief. I put them all together, and I have this master key belief. And that master key belief is either going to create super health in me or create a specific disease. And you can take diabetes, and you actually know what dysfunctional beliefs that person has if they have diabetes, if they have heart disease. And nothing runs in anybody's family. When my father got leukemia the first time, you know, there was a little bit still in me that I felt like I could get leukemia. And guess what? You know what? I can prove this. And you don't have to believe this if you don't want. When my father came to the airport, okay, he had cold sores on his lips. His eyes were yellow. Do you understand me? The whites of the eyes were yellow. His skin was orange. And guess what? When my brother Marcel, Dr. Marcel Wolfs, put him on the airplane from Halifax, Nova Scotia to fly him to Toronto, they said he had 2 weeks to live and he shouldn't even take the flight. And I said, well, if he's only got 2 weeks to live, at least give him to me. Okay? I'd rather he passed away in my care and know that he was loved. So you can think about anything you want about me, but my father turned around his leukemia and they couldn't find it in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Okay, the second time he got it, because my father was damn stubborn and decided he would never change his personality. Okay, he couldn't wait to be with Jesus. He believed that poverty was the way to the Lord. Okay, and he even went from owning a house to actually going to soup kitchens because he believed that's what the Lord wanted for him. Okay, and understand that. And he was eating crap. So he got the leukemia the second time. Okay, and that second time, it took us 3 months to get rid of it. Okay, and the third time, he left. There was no keeping him here. So understand something. Why do babies have cancer? Well, because the conflict, the contamination, okay, all right, and the corruption was in the relationship with the mother and the father. Or, guess what? The family, okay, made the mother feel like a piece of crap. Okay, and wasn't there to support her and love her and say, yes, you got pregnant, we're behind this. Maybe it's a little young for you to have a child, but if you want to keep the child, we love you so much. And you know what? You can take religion and take it and put it where the light doesn't shine. Because I have so many women come to me where they tell me the story of how they had to do it on their own, where they were rejected by their church, rejected by their family. And that is why we have cancer, because the C stands for corruption, conflict, contamination. Listen, unconditional love heals everything. And you can believe it or not, there are no incurable diseases. Can Dr. Wolf cure people? No, I cannot. Can Dr. Wolf support people? Can Dr. Wolf help to actually help people change their belief systems? Yeah, but I have to talk like this. I can't go, well, you know, if you would have just ate properly and maybe didn't eat properly, but nourished your body and loved yourself and got away from that tyrant that you call a boyfriend, okay, and didn't care what your parents thought or what the world thought, you just became unconditional love. That doesn't work. We have to crack the coconut open, wake up the person and say, listen, you are beauty, you are love. And it doesn't matter whether your family, your friends, or anyone else, okay, approves of you. You need to unconditionally approve of yourself. And that baby would not have leukemia. I don't really care what anybody thinks. As long as you want to go by statistics, you go right ahead. Statistics are actually taken by the majority of the population. And has anybody taken a look at the majority of the population? Are they awake? Are they healthy? Are they wealthy? Are they happy? Are they abundant on all levels? I don't really think so. And I'm not saying that this is not going to happen, but I could lose everything today except this shirt and this pair of pants. Okay? And my shoes, because I don't really like shoes. I like to be grounded. And I would have more than you, not you, but more than the majority for the rest of my life. And I would be happy. And I would be happy. Because no materialistic thing and no human being can make me happy. I know that that which created the universe has always unconditionally loved me, and every other story was a BS story. And the reason why that baby got leukemia is because that mother was made to feel guilty, a failure, maybe a sinner, not good enough. Who would love me? Seriously. Take a look at the situation. The person who asked about the leukemia, sweetheart, I want you to do yourself a favor. And I want you to go back and take a look at the story and the hell that she went through and the support that she didn't have and the belief systems that she wasn't worthy. And then why don't you, listen, was there loving in the oven? Okay, was there loving in the oven? Because it would have to be loving up here. Okay, it would have to be loving around her and in her environment. Understand something. What gets no education on how to have a healthy, wealthy relationship with your family? Nobody gets that. You want to go for therapy once a week? Well, maybe that'll turn the burner down. You want to come to a whole life coach certification, which I start one a week from this Monday.
Yep, June
Here,
5th.
I'll tell you something. I'll give you a money back guarantee that I'm going to crack your coconut by the third day, am I?
Absolutely.
And you're going to walk out of there the third day and go, guess what? I'm not there yet. But I know that I deserve unconditional love. And if somebody doesn't want to give it to me, then I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to become something else. Because as long as you buy into people that are unworthy, their belief systems, you're never going to make the mark. And that's it. Why so many disorders, etc., messed up upbringings and talk? Well, because guess what? You know, just stay off my page if you want to banter me or yell at me or give me the finger. Do not do that. Dysfunctional religions, I'm not saying they all are, dysfunctional religions, all public schools, okay, all right, all public schools, and I'm not telling you the teachers are toxic, the strategies and the systems and the platforms they're forced to shove down your throat are. Let me tell you something. How about this? As soon as you go to school, you're not allowed to go pee or poo when you need to, which is nature's way. You got to suck it up, baby. Okay, you got to wet your pants, or you got to hold so tight that not have that bowel movement. Well, if you don't have it, you're going to rot up. You're going to rot inside. What? You're going to rot up inside. Look, the whole thing is a setup, okay? Let's do it this way. There are families that go back thousands of years. Why don't you do your homework? Thousands of years that have controlled everything. And these families have put in your mind that this is as good as it gets. There's no cure for this. There's no cure for that. We can't do this. We can't do that. Let me tell you something right now. The majority of the population is always going to buy into dysfunctional beliefs. The majority of the population is always going to be sick. And then I want you to say, Dr. Wolf, we'll prove you're wrong. I don't know. I've been at this, it's 40 years now. I hope you know that I just hit my 40-year mark. And the reality is, even if I'm as dumb as a stump, I don't know, I went back generations and generations, and it's always been like this. The majority are always lost. The majority are always confused. The majority are always, come on. Why don't you just go to the mall? Go to the mall at about 1 or 2 o'clock and stand there. Or get yourself a chair, because maybe you can't even stand. And get yourself a chair, and then I want you to count how many people look like they're pregnant and not pregnant. They're blowing up inside. And nobody realizes what's going on. The majority of the population is always going to be right, and I'm going to be wrong, okay? So that's how it goes. And remember something, a statistic is only a statistic based on the majority, and the majority are not awake. So if somebody even says to you, well, your child has leukemia and we need to do this or we need to do that, well, you're only going by their rules, their statistics. And when somebody says to you, well, there's no cure for this, or Mr. Jones, you're this age, and people that are this age and in your condition are only going to live 6 months. Well, Mr. Jones, go home and unconditionally love yourself and clear the cupboards out of everything and every name on every bottle and every bag and every package that you can't pronounce. And then let me see you get on a whole plant-based diet. Let me see you do the ultimate coffee enema. Let me see you do clapping on the area where you've got that growth. Let me see you clap that sucker. Okay, let me see you do vaginal infusions if you're a woman. Let me see you actually put a slight smile on your face, and you're not allowed to tell any story except the one that you've always wanted to have. Why aren't you telling the story that you've always wanted to have? You're the writer, you're a producer, you're the director, okay, and you're the leading star of your story. And you know what? You're allowing the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the medical system, the government, your mother, your brother, your sister, and everybody else to tell you what to do. And because you need approval from them, because you suck off of them, because you need love from somewhere, because you can't live without it, as soon as you learn how to love yourself, you will unconditionally love them as well. And it won't matter what they think, what they drink, what they eat. You will not mistreat them. You will learn to love everyone, because guess what? It is not your job to change anyone except to change yourself by 1% every day. And how many days would it take for you to have a new you?
100 days.
100 days. What do you think?
It's amazing. I can just say that, when I went for my first course, on the outside, you get compliments. You look great. You look great. You're fine. Within, I think, the second day, I could tell how much trouble I was in, because we did the clapping test and we clapped the inside of our elbow.
Do you have a clapper?
I do. Somewhere.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get one later.
Yeah. Oh, it's right there.
Okay, I'll go get it.
Yeah. And we clapped for 5 minutes, and I bruised like nobody's business. It was unbelievable. And Daryl got red, but not a single bruise. And not only did I bruise, but it took 2 weeks for that to clear up. And that showed me just how bad my immune system was, just how much trouble my body was in. And so ever since then, it's been, a roadway to healing, and I'm so much better. The last time we did the clap test in class, there was just a few flakes, and they were gone in a couple days.
Yeah, and you should, we'll come on again this week. I'll be doing something with Shilu every day this week, won't we?
Sure.
And then next week we'll be doing it in class, and I'll be coming on in class and letting you take a peek on inside the workings of the mind. Yeah, and the reality is you're the change you're looking for, everyone. You're the change you're looking for. Somebody said, how do I get my taste and smell back? Well, just remember something. You fried your nerve endings out. That was inflammation. Inflammation causes, you will burn out the nerve endings, and they will grow back. They will come back. So just know everything can come back. But guess what? The person who asked this, you got to get rid of all inflammatory foods. You got to get on warm to hot structured water, okay, and you want to drink that, and it's got to be structured, and you want to do enough for you that if you want to get a consultation, which will cost you $150, you'll get my Perfect Day Guide, which is almost 400 pages, and you'll get in a PDF that when you see a symptom going on, an emotional symptom with somebody in your family, okay, an emotional symptom, you can take a look at any disease and you can find out what's wrong with them emotionally, okay?
There's more information in that guide than you ever learned in any biology class in school.
The most powerful book that you'll ever read,
absolutely,
will be the Perfect Day Guide. I put my heart into it. That's 40 years, and it's 400 pages. And if you read that, you will be, and please, this is no disrespect to you health practitioners out there, but you will be more, if you really read it and take it in and become it, you will be more powerful than 99% of the health practitioners out there. And understand this, anyone that's sick can be their own healer, and a healer can then go to a practitioner, and a practitioner can become a doctor. And I say that only because guess what? People are always asking me all the time, I've always wanted to get into health. Well, don't even just get into health. Why don't you want to get your doctorate in natural health, get your doctorate in Indigenous medicine? Shilou's working on both of those, and Shilou's also going to be working on a doctorate in biophysics. Now, some of you are on here going, who does he think he is? This is some kind of mill. No, it isn't. Let me tell you something. How many practitioners have you guys went to? Shilou and everyone, and I have thousands of practitioners throughout the world. Do I? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
So the reality is this. How many practitioners have you gone to where they offer you a money-back guarantee on their body work and on their consult? That if it doesn't change your life, okay, the first treatment is a money-back guarantee. Consult, money-back guarantee. So you need to get that. So the reality is, it's logic. 1 and 1 are 2, not 11. Just know this, the person who has the problem though, your sense of smell and taste will come back. Just, and I'm always going to say this, and you're going to go, what does that even mean? Well, if you love and care for yourself and you know how to do it and you get the proper strategies, and that's why we give you a guarantee, because we've done our homework. And if you don't give the power back to the people are never going to get well. If you go to a practitioner that treats you instead of trains you, you're never going to get well, because that's mistreatment. Now, there's always going to be a large percentage of the population that only want to be treated, okay, because they've got lazy beliefs, and I just said lazy beliefs, okay, and that's only because they're not their beliefs. That's all. I just want to be treated, and there's a lot of people out there that don't want to get well. They just want to bring the pain, just get rid of the pain, because they don't have a belief system that believes that they could be totally healthy again and young again. I'm going to tell you, you can become young at any age. You can cure any disease. And I'm going to say it. Nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me from telling the truth. Okay? How can I do this if my child is autistic and resistant to more healthy food, sensory? Well, for one thing, let's put it this way. Your child's only eating the foods that are in the house. If mommy was only eating healthy foods, and that's all that's in the house, an autistic child or any child is going to have a tantrum for 2 to 3 weeks. Allow them to have that tantrum. Because when they become an adult, it could take 2 to 3 years for them to change. Because the longer and stronger you run a belief, the more difficult it's going to be. Mom, you need to find your courage and your bravery. And the reality is this, autistic children, and stop using the word. Stop calling your child autistic in front of that child. Call your child a genius. Call them unlimited potential. And guess what? Every autistic child has a problem. What is it? Essential fatty acids, not enough. Another thing is their bowels. Really? There's no bowel problem with your child? Then you have a bowel problem you don't even know. So the reality is you got to get the cork out, get the flow going. The reality is that you need to get your child on high vibrational foods. Do you think that, you know what? The reality is we are electrical, magnetic, light energy beings, and we feed off of light. We feed off of electricity. So when you pass on from your body and you leave your body, how much electricity is left in the body? 0? How much electricity is in the body in a sick person? Very little. And that's called mitochondrial damage. And that's what happens when you have mitochondrial damage. Then you don't make ATP. ATP is the energy that you get. And when you make ATP properly, ATP goes out through the sodium-potassium channel into the extracellular fluid, creating new cells. How? With a lightning bolt. Yes, a little bit of electricity. So it's all about electricity. How much electricity is in a donut?
No idea. None.
0. That's why there's a hole in the middle. Okay, so if you have an autistic child, let me just tell you this. He will eat fruit. Well, that's great. Then feed your child fruit, and then people are going to say that's too much sugar. That's a lie. That's a lie. You can be a fruitarian. The only thing is if you give him lots of fruit or her lots of fruit, their bowels are going to move just until they got the back load out, and then everything will balance out. See, people don't understand. You know, when you get diarrhea because you're constipated. What? Yeah, you get the flu or a cold because a virus is actually just heavy metals and toxic chemicals. So how they can't jump 1 inch, less 6 feet. So the reality is your body will get sick to get well, and it's not getting sick, it's purging. So the reality is I don't ever have to get sick. Why? I don't have a sick mind, for one thing. I love myself unconditionally. If I make a mistake, I learn from it. I don't burn from it. I observe and I grow. I don't judge myself and go, oh, you're stupid. You're so stupid. You know? And even if somebody's hurt by me, I will say, listen, you know, how did I hurt you? I'm not going to apologize right away. I want to know how I hurt the person. And I want them to understand that our beliefs could differ, because I will never go out of my way to hurt someone. It's called do no harm. That's what I live by. Unconditional love for everyone. You're allowed to be a terrorist. You're allowed to do drugs. You're allowed to drink alcohol, but you won't do it in my house. You won't do it in my environment, but you're allowed to do whatever you want. I love you anyway. It's your body. It's your life. And I'm not going to judge anybody. You know, the reality is look at how many different, you know, and people don't get this. Do you know why there's so many different religions? To divide us. Seriously? Okay. All right. Do you know why there's so many different colors of people? To divide us. Do you know why there's so many different languages? To divide us. So now we got to look at it differently and look at that we love tossed salad. Because that's what the world is, a tossed salad. And it's a variety and it's beauty. And I love everyone. And it doesn't matter what they believe in. I'm going to love them anyway. Because that's what we were meant to do in the first place. Okay? And that's that. What would you like to say? Because I'm talking too much.
No. Self-love is the only way. You can't love someone else unless you learn to love yourself. And, you know, you can't give what you don't have. So if you don't have true self-love for yourself, you can try and tell people you love them, but you really don't. Because there are conditions. There's all these expectations. There's all this garbage that you bring along with it, because that's how you treat yourself. You know, as Daryl says, you beat yourself up if you ever fail, instead of going, oh, that was an interesting experience. What can I learn from it? Dust yourself off and move on again. But because we don't do that for ourselves, we judge and have all this weight on everyone else around us, and we think that that's love. It's not.
And just understand something. You're all allowed to have different beliefs than Shalou and I. You don't have to have similar beliefs to us for us to love you. So now, you know what, I was just setting you up for something. So Shalou, when was the first time you took a course with us? Like a New World Practitioner course?
June 2021.
2021, what is it now?
2023, we're coming up to 2 years.
So 2 years. And Shalou, do you work with people all the way from constipation to stage 4 inflammation and every autoimmune disease going?
Yes.
What gives you the right to do that, Shalou? You should go to jail. You should go to jail.
Well, you know what? They find me and they come to me.
That's right.
And then I share what I've learned with them, and then it's up to them if they want to do it or not.
So what did you used to do?
I own a restaurant.
So what gives you the right to actually work with people?
What gives me the right?
Yeah, what gives you the right?
I'm sharing the knowledge that I have, and I'm telling you, it is so logical and it is so simple. And if I hadn't tried it on myself, and I feel younger, look younger now than I did 4 years ago.
Do you have a picture handy?
Oh God, no, it's scary.
I know, but I need them to see it because guess what? Just make sure that you do
phone.
something really good today, because you'll have nightmares tonight. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Let me see. Let me see what else I got here. I'm just going to take a look here, people. Okay, is that all right? Let me see here. Oh, and the other thing is, I just want to come back to the lady here. I really want to say this, and I mean it. ATYPS, parent support. I just want to say something, okay? Do not label your child. You're autistic. Your child is a genius. Your child is beautiful. Your child is enlightened. And the reality is, I'm going to tell you something. So, my daughter Genevieve, okay, I'll tell you a story. My daughter Genevieve, when she was younger, okay, she was labeled as troubled learning, a troubled learning child. So the school said that. So believe it or not, my relatives took that on. And I used to get so pissed off. I can't use any other word. They were not allowed to say, oh, don't worry, that's Genevieve. She has trouble learning. And you know what? And I noticed that the more they would say that, she would bump into things. She would tip things over. And then guess what? Then she would say, then you're so clumsy. You're so clumsy. Then, you know, we had 4 children, and then the 2 older ones would start picking on her. And I woke up really quick. There was nothing, you know, you will destroy your family. Understand this, the medical system are programmed. They will give you labels, and they're going to tell you that something's not curable or fixable because they can't fix it. You know what? They can't fix it. Well, you know what? Their medications are made out of petroleum. The Rockefellers, come on, guys, please. The reality is this. Nobody's allowed to call your child autistic again, and you stop calling your child autistic unless you want your child. And you can't do it in another room either. If you start focusing on that your child is going to be the miracle child, and that your child is going to continually grow, and your child has unlimited potential, but you got to buy into that program, and you got to believe it. You just know this, that you only own what you own, you only act like you act, you only eat what you eat, you only do what you do, because the way you talk, the way you look at, if you look like a duck and smell like a duck and quack like a duck, you're a duck until you want to become an eagle. Okay, that means you need to fly on your own, spread your wings out. When then there's trauma, and everybody's freaking out, you spread your wings, rise above the chaos. And stop gobbling like a turkey. Stop gobbling what everybody else is saying. Whatever the majority of the population is saying, it'll kill you. It'll destroy your children. It'll destroy your family. The majority of the population is the danger here. So let's just tell it like it is. The minority are the people that are the rebels, are the people that get picked on, and I don't really care. You know, I'm over this. I am so over this. You know what? I had a huge attack done to me. How did I handle it? It was none of my business. No. Yeah. It was none of my business. It's none of my business. The world is going to know in short time who I am and what I'm about, and that this isn't a sales pitch. This is unconditional love for everyone. We're going to rise, and we're going to touch everyone's heart that we can, and let everybody know that they are beautiful. And that is the bottom line. Okay, let's scare them.
Oh my God. So I'm looking for pictures that actually have makeup on, because, you know, most times people will show you pictures where, you know, you don't have makeup on or whatever. You just woke up in the morning. And
I've got makeup on right now.
So this was, where are we? Right here. Look at that.
Show them. Bring it up close. Okay. There she is.
That's what it was. And this was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but how heavy were you?
I was only 10 pounds heavier. And that's the interesting thing. Everyone thinks I've lost so much weight, which I still need to lose more, but I've changed the fat into muscle. And so my body...
The last time I was here, I could have grabbed a roll right here. It was still hanging. There was a nice handful.
Yes, yes. No, absolutely.
Look, I still have it. Yeah. I got this. No, I don't. Anyway. No, I don't think I have anything.
No, but seriously, because, you know, and I don't have time. I'm so busy between, I still have the restaurant and I've got my practice going. but doing the work is like going to the gym. You're constantly moving, on the floor, the mats, you're squatting. And so you end up not only taking care of other people, but you're actually healing yourself, right? All at the same time. It's such a beautiful, I can't be more satisfied with what I do with my life now. I'm so excited.
Yeah, believe it or not, she bought into the whole thing. That's why she has a cell sonic here. And you want to go to Power Pack on Docofdetox.com. Read about the cell sonic. We'll be doing a show on cell sonic this week, and we'll be doing a show on the cardio med bed.
Which is in the other room.
Think about this. Somebody comes, they got a 92% block in their heart. Okay, so guess what? That's enough to make anybody freak out, right? Okay, well, the cardio med bed, after 35 to 37 hours, without doing even our Perfect Day diet and all our nutraceuticals and everything else we know, non-surgical around the heart to open up the fibers, guess what? After 35 hours to 37 hours, just on the cardio med bed, you'll have a brand new set of arteries. Oh, and you know what? I just love saying this stuff because we have all the science to prove it. And so that's the only thing. You just need to have the facts. Okay? Have the facts to prove it so that you can shut them down before they open up their mouth. Okay?
Well, when I got on the bed, because you take your blood pressure, you check your pulse, you check your oxygen levels, and I was on it for 15 minutes, all three things got better in just 15 minutes.
It's the most powerful workout and the most powerful restoration circulation device on the planet. So you take that and then you take the most powerful energy medicine device, 25,000 volts into a love harmonic field, and you put those two together, plus our Perfect Day diet, plus our vaginal infusion, ultimate coffee enema, our exercises, and you put all these little techniques that we get you to do when you're at home, and you're just going to rock your world. I call BS. BS, BS, BS. And understand something. What you're looking for, everyone, is you're looking to create the perfect day. If you could create a perfect day today and you were to repeat it, what would you have?
Many perfect
Come on, come on, come on. But that means that you'd have to break the family curse and become the family blessing. That means that you would say to everyone, well, I'm going to try something new. And they go, oh my God, go ahead, go, go, go. And then when you start rising and start loving yourself and loving your life, they're going to want to pull you back down and pull you back into the system. Okay? Your family will do that. They love you. They couldn't love you more. But the reality is they don't want to be left behind, and they're not ready to change. And the reality is if you want a perfect, not a perfect, but a beautiful life, and anybody can have it, you've got to allow your family to destroy themselves if they still wish to do that. She has a big problem with that. I used to just have guilt about feeling so good and looking after myself. I would have guilt. Do you have guilt, or do you just, or do you feel lonely leaving them behind? Well, I know, but even last year you still had a problem.
Yes, a little bit, but I'm getting better every day.
It wasn't a little bit. It wasn't a little. It wasn't a little bit of a problem.
Yes, no, I wanted them all to come with me. I really did. But now, honestly, I get up every morning and I just know that this moment right here, right now, is the best moment, and I make the most of it. And my mom just passed away. It'll be 4 weeks tomorrow, and everyone else is, how you doing? How you doing? And I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I know
her mother didn't pass away. Her mother went away. Okay, her mother decided it was time.
Yes,
her mother talked about the last few years on how she just wanted to go. Yeah. You can't ask to go and not go. Yeah. You need to have a reason to stay and play. Yeah. I know, but
she was ready. She was ready to go.
And she was such a beautiful woman, and she cared so much. Okay, she really cared so much. But you know what? She loved her husband.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did.
But see, here's the deal. You got to watch how much you love your husband and not love yourself. You can love your husband completely, but you better love yourself even more. And if you don't, that's the problem. Because the amount that you love yourself will be is the only protection you have on this planet. If you, okay, so my kids fill up my heart 60%, my husband fills it up 40%. Okay, well, guess what? If something happened to the kids, you're going to have a broken heart. You're going to have heart disease. You're going to have a heart attack. You're going to have cancer. You're going to. There's no way that you can be that hurt and that empty without falling apart.
Yeah, it's all the strings that bind us. And it's about just learning how to detach. Doesn't mean you don't love, doesn't mean that you don't care, but you don't let it affect you in a negative way. We got to understand, what is the point of all of this? It's for us to have whatever experience we choose to have. And many times people will do things that don't align with how you think, but you got to allow them to do.
Oh my gosh, you know, I've got kids. They don't align with what I think, and they shouldn't. They want to discover. They want to fall down. Let them pick themselves up. If they want my help, they're going to call me. They know I have unconditional love for them no matter what they do.
But Daryl, before the course, if my kids didn't behave a certain way, because I didn't have self-worth for myself, it was all reflected back to me. I'm not a good enough mom. I haven't taught them well enough. Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't, like, all of that stuff used to drive me nuts. And now I just, you know, let them have their, and they'll come and go, well, what do you think about that, Mom? And I'll be like, well, what do you want to do? Whereas before, my self-worth came from, oh, my kids come to me and I get to tell them what I think. But then I'm teaching them to repeat the same nonsense life that I was living because I wasn't happy.
How's it working, you trying to fix everything and be everything, exhausting, and then guess what? You get pissed off. You even hate your family because I pour so much energy into them and they don't respect me. No, it's because you don't respect yourself.
Absolutely.
And then you use them to feed the disrespect you have for yourself, but it's not your it's not your fault, because these psycho elite, okay, we call them elite, they're not elite, but these psychos that have been granted the keys to the planet in a lot of ways. They don't have the keys to me. They're not going to tell me, you know, they don't have the keys to my finances anymore. They don't have the keys to my health, my wealth on any level. I'm telling you. Do they? Do they? No, we've proven it, haven't we?
Nope.
No. You just got to think outside the box. And then you've got to be ready to fly on your own.
Yes.
Right? Right? Because when you first came why did you come to the Whole Life Coach and non-surgical? Why did you come for the course? What was your reason for coming?
I came to save my family. No, I know how silly that sounds. But honestly, they saved me by being sick. And my intention of trying to save them, I found salvation for myself because I got to really, really take a look inside and just see that how can I, you know, try and help anyone else when I was really suffering. I was living my father's life. I was going down that path where I was working myself to death. And when Dad finally got to a point where he could, you know, retire and enjoy and do what he wanted to, prostate cancer showed up. And I didn't want to do that for myself, so, well, not that I have prostate cancer, but you know.
Do you know what Shilu has done? She is giving the best gift to her family.
Yeah.
Every time that you compromise your diet, every time you compromise yourself for your family, you are the disease. Disease means not at ease. It means not in harmony or in alignment with yourself. But I get it. You compromise yourself every day. Oh, I shouldn't eat that. I shouldn't drink that. I shouldn't do that. I don't want to go over and visit them, but I'm going to do it because I feel guilty. Well, I don't do that crap no more. And the reality is either does she. She won't do it no more. And the reality is that's not disrespecting the family. That's standing up for herself. And eventually, her family's going to learn to do the same thing. Yeah. You know, her daughter's already taken the Kool-Aid, okay, of loving her and caring herself. Your husband has.
They're all working out. They're minding their own business. My house has never been more peaceful.
Yeah, I know, but guess what? Why don't you tell the truth? After she took the course, she came here and she stirred up the shit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and it disrupted the whole family.
It did, because my house was the fun house. All the nieces and nephews wanted to be here because, you know, we bought pop each week. We had chips coming in. We had all sorts of garbage coming through the house. And when I came back and I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore. Not on my watch. You guys want to eat that? You go outside and do what you want. Not in here. And I didn't know whether they were going to get on board or not, but I just knew that I needed to do that so I could hold the line for myself and for them because I love them. And it could have been that either I would have moved out or they would have thrown me out, but I didn't care at that point because Once I tapped into
Oh my
that
God.
self-love.
Oh, I got to tell you
Yeah.
this. Oh my God. Yeah, it was like about 6 months in after she took the course. She's like, I don't know. Maybe I can't stay together with my husband. I don't know. Maybe I've got to go move out and get my own place.
Yeah.
Right? And
And
she
it's not
wasn't.
because he's not a nice guy or that
No.
I don't love him. But I had to do that, like get to that point and hold the line for myself.
Do you know how hard it is to leave your family behind because you love them so much that you're willing to risk to hopefully wake them up? No. What do you think? We should all just stay asleep and be sold off by the pound and do all their drugs in their food, in the water, and everything? That's what people do. I mean, that's what you do. How many times do you just give in? Do you give in and go, okay, well, I'll just eat that and, be part of the herd?
Not anymore. I mean, I do remember that. Oh, we're in a rush. Let's just grab a Timmy's or grab something from, the fast food joint. Let's just go do it. It's not even an option anymore, and it's not something that you feel like, oh, you're being deprived. You're just like, no. Just like I said, we instead of going there, we go to Ripe Juicery and get some organic juices. And no, I'm not on the water fast right now. No, but when I do it, then we use all the...
Yeah, but almost every day is a fast. You know what?
Every day,
almost every day is a fast for us.
Yeah.
And it truly is. You do know that people eat 12 times more than they need. You do know that once you stop eating, that's 70% of your energy when you shut down your digestive tract that goes in and starts eating up the tumors, the scar tissue, the cysts, the pimples. Okay, but it doesn't just do that. When you do an advanced water fast using 6 different nutraceuticals that bypass the Krebs cycle, that won't turn on your digestive tract. And do you have energy on our... Listen.
People wonder how we get done, what we get done in
You have tons of energy on our protocol. You don't have healing crisis. Okay, because what if we could bring in the most powerful electrical light energy without turning on your digestive tract, bypassing the Krebs cycle, and just turning everything on and actually making more stem cells and creating more autophagy? Wouldn't that be cool? Well, you know what? I started doing fasting when I was like 22 years old. And by the time I was 28, I woke up. Because water fast, just doing a water fast is actually dangerous. It's dangerous. Why would that be? Do you know why that is? Because guess what? When Jesus would do a water fast, that was how long ago? Just the other day, right? Anyways, there wasn't any toxins, there wasn't any chemtrails, there wasn't any GMOs, there wasn't any polluting of the food, the water, and all that mind pollution from TV and radio and all that. And when Jesus would fast for 40 days, you got to understand something. He was trying to bring his vibration up so high, and that's what we're doing is we're feeding our spirit, okay? And we're getting out of the physical part, because as soon as you start to feed the spirit, it heals the body. Because that's what it is. You unleash. Did you know that in a 6-day advanced water fast that you can unleash as much stem cells as if you paid $100,000 for the stem cell therapy? I hope you're getting this. You also will release autophagy, and you're not just going to eat up physical things that you don't want in your body, but you're going to eat up beliefs that are caught in your subconscious that are actually poisoning your life. Is that true?
Absolutely. The first water fast I did it all wrong. I hadn't gone to the course yet. I was just following Daryl, and was stuck in poverty mentality, so I wasn't going to purchase any of the products that would have helped me through it. But I'm like, no, I'm doing this. And I kid you not, I used to get up in the morning, and it was like walking on eggshells. My feet hurt so much until I got into the shower, got the hot water going, and then I would be able to sort of walk on my feet. I was so calcified, it was a mess. So the first day was really hard. I felt sick. I wasn't sure which end stuff was going to come out of. I just felt so ugh. But I got through it. I just drank water. That's it. And thankfully it was structured and that part was good. And then the next day, because I was still working at the restaurant, I felt better, but it was really difficult because I was serving all this food to people, and so the smells and everything else, and I'm like, okay, this is just really difficult because I was still working through it, right? All the things you're not supposed to do, I did. Day 3, I was off, I was home, and the dog came into the bedroom early morning, needed to be let out. I was halfway down the stairs and I realized I wasn't taking one step at a time like an old man. I was like just, and I'm like, what just happened here? In 3 days, my body had reversed to a younger version of myself. And so I remember, because this was in January, so later that day I took the dog for a nice long walk because we got beautiful woods back here, trails. And oh my God, I was so at peace. It was amazing. I came home, actually baked a cake for my family because I didn't know any better at that point. I was still feeding them that stuff. And I wasn't even bothered by the smell or that I wasn't going to eat it, none of that. I wanted to get to day 4 because, you know, that's what I heard with all the downloads come and all of that.
If I can, or do you want to tell them?
What am I telling?
Well, just that by the time you get to day 3, you're in total autophagy. So, yes, day 3 is total autophagy and stem cell making. But what if you were to keep it going for 3 more days?
Yeah, well, I didn't think, I just committed to 1 day at a time. So
yeah.
I didn't stress myself out with, oh, I'm going to get to, it was 1 day at a time. And my goal was to at least get to day 4 because the downloads and all of that stuff, I wanted to experience that. But like by day 3, you're not even hungry. Like there was no hunger pangs. There was no feeling of, oh my God, what am I doing to myself? I was full of energy and I felt great. And because I felt great, I just kept on going. And by day 4, I had inspired my mom, my aunt, my sister to sort of get on board, and they were going to do a 24-hour water fast with me. And
when you
it
go
was
to
great.
when you go to do a 6-day advanced water fast, as Shilou knows, she's got so many clients doing them now and coming to her for Perfect Day Consultations. You have to understand something. They may just do 1 day. You're not a failure.
No.
Listen, we just had a gentleman who's a truck driver told he would never be able to drive truck again because his eyesight was going, his liver was failing. Okay, he did 82 days.
Wow.
Okay, he lost 120 pounds, but he was committed. And you know what got him so committed? If I can't drive truck, I can't do my family. You know, the guy's got 8 children, right? And you know what? And he loved truck driving, but guess what? He ate wrong. And understand something, he'll never eat wrong again. But he was determined. What was determined? If he would have let his family down, okay, my job is to support, protect, and that's it. If I can't do that, why should I even live? So, not that that's a good belief, but I hope you heard what I just said. So you don't need to go that long. That's as long as I've ever had anybody go with us, okay? And the reality is you're going to go as long as you go, but because we do a 6-day, we call it a 6-day advanced water fast, and we do it every 6 weeks. I'm going to tell you something right now. And you know what? Nobody can shut me down or shut me up. The reality is you can be as sick, overweight, toxic, feel like you're dying, old. And if you start doing a 6-day advanced water fast, only go as far as you can without feeling like you're going to die. But do an advanced one where you get the support of the nutraceuticals. It makes all the difference in the world. I'll let Shilou talk about it. But I have people that have been given days to live over the last 30 years and understand they're rocking their life. Let me tell you, when somebody says that you're going to die, go home and get your paperwork in order. They're only going off of statistics. What if you change the rules of the game?
What you believe you will achieve. And if you believe what they've told you, then you will achieve that. Honestly, when my mom was diagnosed back in 2020, they told her she had 2 months. And right off the hop, she's like, no. And 3 years and 2 months.
Now, tomorrow we're going to come on here and we're going to actually go through the nutraceuticals that you can use during the advanced water fast. And we'll talk about the things that you'll do at home to support yourself. Is that good?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so we will do that. We'll have the products out. Because I just want to warn people, because some people will come on and go, oh my God, they're trying to market to us. No, we're just going to show you how we do it. And then if you want to go get similar products, then go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter. We're just going to show you how we do it and how I built it over the years, okay? And you can start...
Can you start halfway?
Yeah, you can start halfway through. You can start anytime you want with the nutraceuticals. But the biggest key to water fasting is warm to hot structured water,
Yep.
which doesn't cost you a lot. Get a structure unit. And you don't have to, but don't use distilled water or reverse osmosis. You'll need your head checked. Don't do that. That water doesn't even exist in nature. It's too heavy. And it takes too much energy for the water to be structured. And we're going to go through this all tomorrow. That's like an hour and a half tomorrow. But, you know, if you want to join us and you want to get life-changing, life-saving information, we're going to rock your world, okay? And we'll be coming on at the same time tomorrow, okay, at noon, okay? All right, Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be back here again on Monday at noon. And then we'll be back again on Wednesday and Thursday at 10 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Okay? All right. And then we're going to be doing lectures, aren't we?
We are. So the lectures that are posted
live
on the site are...
And they'll also be, we come on with the same format here. So don't feel like you have to come, okay? Yeah. But if you're in the neighborhood... Yeah. But the first two are sold out.
So May 25th and June 4th are sold out. So catch us.
How much do they have to pay to come?
Nothing.
Nothing. But they're sold out. Okay? They're sold out because there's no seats.
Exactly. But we have added June 1st and June 8th.
Yes.
So definitely, if you're interested in the neighborhood and want to pop by, let us know. Call us so we can...
And we're in Barrie, Ontario.
Yeah, 705-828-2257. Give me a call. I'll get your name down. We'll reserve your spot. And June 1st and June 8th.
And just know this too. Shalou has the Cellsonic here, and she's totally set up. And Dr. Sage Wolf will be coming here in about 10 days. So anybody who would like to get non-surgical and come here and by Dr. Sage Wolf, just let Shalou know and she'll start booking you in, and then you'll be coming to Shalou's clinic and working with Dr. Sage Wolf and Shalou, okay? So you look at, if you've been scared or you're hesitating, let's bring on the thunder here. Let's just do this, okay? Remember something, your belief systems are gonna be the worst thing that gets in your way. I drove 800 miles to listen earlier this year. Wow. Maureen drove 800 miles to come to a lecture.
Amazing.
Well, I really hope I didn't let you down. And if you did get let down, I hope it was Shalou. Okay. All right. So.
Well, if you want to drive 800 miles and come see us, don't worry, because we have lots of master practitioners here to do the treatment, so you will be taken care of. We've got Simran, we've got myself, we've got Sage.
Yeah.
And there's other practitioners in the areas.
And I want to tell you something. Just start lovingly observing yourself. And the reason you have those issues in your tissues is because they've been force-fed into your mind. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with any of you. I swear to God, I am not just saying this to make you feel good, but you should feel good, really good about yourself. That which created the whole universe has loved you beyond love. Okay, and this is not me getting airy-fairy. This is the God's truth. Okay, don't believe what anybody says. Okay, that you're condemned or you've got some life-threatening disease that they just don't know why you got it, because there are no diseases. All diseases are just symptoms of you not unconditionally loving yourself. And you can go, Dr. Wolf, you're full of BS, and I don't really care because I'm right. I'm right about that if you were to unconditionally love and care for yourself, doesn't matter where you are in the world today, okay, your whole life will change. And that which created the universe is a high vibrational being of some sort wanting you to reach as high as you can to connect with you. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. What would you like to say?
I have never felt freer in my life. I have never felt more joy, more happiness, and more excited about each and every day. And you can have that too.
Somebody wants to know if you are the lady from the Simmering Kettle.
Yes.
Yes, she is the lady from the Simmering Kettle, and that's where the lectures are going to take place, right?
Yes, they are.
And just so you know, we've got 2 spots left for the Whole Life Coach certification that starts on Monday. It's a 9-day course. You'll come for 4 days, and then a day off, and then 4 days. And then a day off after that, and then we start the Wolf Non-Surgical with Dr. Sage Wolf. That's 12 days, 6 days on, 1 day off, 5 days. And then after that, there's we're going to let this one reconnect. Okay, there they go. So after that, there's one day off, and then we've got the pelvic girls coming. And that is a woman's course that's 3 days. And if you want to learn how to heal your pelvis from ovarian cysts, dryness, inflammation, infection, bladder infection, infertility, painful hips where you think you need surgery, low back pain, okay, cellulitis, okay, vaginitis, okay, where your uterus is falling out like a cuckoo clock. Okay, I'm serious, because believe it or not, pelvic rot is the biggest thing that's going on with women today. And that's why women are losing their babies, is because they can't hold them in there any longer. Why do you think there's a whole row of Depends at Costco? They're looking at your future. You might want to come out and check us out. What of you have, well, if you had a full hysterectomy, sweetheart, you know what that did? That was total devastation, inflammation to your pelvic area. And guess what? You have a block of scar tissue and calcium in there. Wouldn't it be great if you could restore your vaginal canal to as healthy as when you were a teenager? When you learn how to do all these things like using the egg, right? Mm-hmm. When using the egg, when doing vaginal infusions, doing the exercises, learning how to... Okay, so learning how to bring back your feminine power. I don't want to go into that today, but this week we'll be doing every day this week, we're going to be doing a live show for you. And I am going to prove to you that 5,000 years ago, feminine power used to rule the world until the church and government got together to destroy women. Just like how, you know how you women tried to liberate yourself in the 70s? You weren't liberating yourself, you were destroying yourself when you thought you had to get out of the kitchen. That really just wrecked the whole family fabric, and they brought in all the processed food because now you weren't making the meals, and that's the big deal. So we got sucker punched again by these blood-sucking people. Anyways, the reality is it's time for us all to come together as a family and stop pretending that we love each other, because it's never going to work like that. Until you unconditionally love yourself, you will never love me or Shalou. You'll be just trying to suck off us like we're some large nipple. When you start filling up your own heart, okay, and you don't need love from everybody else, you are going to rock your world. You'll be in the present moment. You will own it, and you will heal in an instant. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. We got this, Bravehearts.